morning. Good morning from Melbourne, Australia. Good evening to friends in North America, and hello to anyone watching on replay. My name is Nancy Hetker, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Melbourne, Australia. And before I get into my project today, I wanted to remind you that we have our BOGO sale going on in June. Buy any suite and get any product from a suite and get a second one half off. And it's always going to be the cheaper item. So if you buy a whole suite and like a pack of embellishments from another suite, that pack of embellishments is going to be half off. So you got to kind of plan your order carefully. And I can help you strategize on that if you want. So put together your shopping list and get in touch with me, and we can work out the best way to make that work for you. And got a whole bunch of sirens going by outside, which is interesting. I think they're just on the main road, but we don't usually have many. There we go. Yeah, so let's do it this way today. Here's how to get in touch with me. The card that I make today will be on my next blog post. My blog is at nancysniftynotes.com. If you have any questions for me, if you need help finding a demonstrator in your country, because you're not in Australia where I can be your demonstrator, just drop me a note and I will link you up with one of my friends. Or if you have any questions, feel free to get in touch and let's get going. Hello, Gladys. Thanks for joining me. I saw your comment on my personal Facebook page before I went to bed last night, and I'd seen you first thing this morning, so I'm just feeling you all around today. So a Joy Fold card is one of it's the first fun fold card I ever made. I can remember that. I'm going to show you this one that I made the other day and haven't posted yet. This one is based on one made by Mary Fish. I used the same basic layout. I did something different for my focal point. And this one has a ribbon to hold it closed. The one I make today, I don't think is going to have a ribbon. But the Joy Fold is that it opens like that. It's got an extra flap. Well, it's got the flap here on the standard size card base, and then this extra folded part. And I don't know why it was called a Joy Fold, but it is. And then that just ties to hold it all together. So I think that one, I really like all of that. The focal image, yeah, I like what I did. I'll probably do another one of these too with something else. Probably the coordinating pretty florals instead of the meant to be set in there, but I like it with the bee as well. But that's, so this is the same fold that I'm going to do, but I'm going to use instead the Turtley Awesome stamp set and the Turtley Cute Designer Series papers. And yeah, I've chopped a lot of this up. I've got several different projects going with this right now, but I think it's quite fun. I like the bright colors, and this has coordinating dies as well that I didn't pull because I've actually got all of my pieces prepped this morning. I actually prepped them last night, but here is the turtle I'm going to use for my focal image. And I fussy cut him out of the Designer Series paper, her, because some of the images on the Designer Series paper do coordinate with the dies that also coordinate with the stamp set. This one does not, but it's going to wind up on that for the focal image. But here are my pieces, and I really like stripes, but it's the back side of another one of these that has more turtles on it, and it makes that joy fold that we were just talking about. So I'm going to do a little bit of stamping to start with, I think. And I'm pulling in this Hooray from the stamp set. And I think I'm going to stamp it in Shaded Spruce on this pool party piece. Hello, Mom. Hello, Paula. Glad you could join me. And we'll put that on there. And I did a little thinking last night about how I wanted to incorporate that onto the card in general. And I think regardless, I'm going to try fussy cutting it. So let's have a little chat while we do this. You guys go first. Oh my, we may have to start this over again. I got it a little close. When I do fussy cutting, I know I've said this before, I try to keep the scissors pretty still and move the paper to make the smoothest cuts. We'll see how this comes out. We may have to try again. Fortunately, I have many scraps of paper. We'll see how that works. Yeah, I like that Hooray. I like that really bold, clear, clean cursive. Kind of like, I think of it as like the handwriting of the 2nd or 3rd grade teacher who taught us cursive. You know, really, really clear. Okay, and then this is the inside piece for the joy fold, and I'm going to stamp on that one. And this one says, hope your birthday is turtly awesome. And we'll do that one in the Shaded Spruce also. There are all kinds of turtles in this suite. Musicians and gardeners and going to the beach and picnics and just doing all kinds of things that are fun to cut out. So let's make the joy fold part. I've got lots of layers on this card. So this is the front. And this one, the stripes are going a different way. See, there's a beekeeper turtle. Can you see it? It's sideways there. I always think of my dad with this because one of the musicians is a banjo player. And my dad isn't a banjo player, but he's very much into folk music, and so banjos. And despite that, I did not make his Father's Day card out of this suite. hopefully it has arrived or will arrive any moment for him. Go. I'm just concentrating on getting my layers straight. There we go. So there's the joy fold part of the card. And here's the card base. We'll do the same thing. We're just gluing up layers. Sorry, it's kind of, I don't know, maybe it's boring. I can never tell whether I should be frantically trying to cut everything or have things done in advance. I try to strike an interesting medium, but when this one is, anyway, there's just a lot of cutting and assembling on this one, not a lot of stamping. Oh, there's a birder. I think the concept artists like being able to do papers like this. They get to use a lot of imagination. Okay, so there's the card base, and here's the joy fold. Get that kind of centered. See how we did here. Pretty good. Okay, that's straight. Yep, that's looking pretty good. I like it with the stripe going the other way, even though we're going to wind up not seeing much of that, because that's going to cover it a lot. I thought about doing a slightly smaller circle, but then I would have kind of flimsy turtle hanging off, and I didn't really want that. So if that's kind of that way, and this gets stuck on I think that works better space-wise. How does it work visually? Oh, great, Mom. I'm glad it arrived. Yay. Very kind, Paula and Gladys. I'm glad you agree with that. Yeah, I'm going to go with that layout, I think. Now the question is, should I or shouldn't I put ribbon on there to hold it closed? This is the question. I could do a white ribbon, like on the other one. I have this Lost Lagoon ribbon, which would probably work. But I'm thinking nothing. So, I wonder if, I think if I come in here and do a stronger burnish on that fold, that helped. Let's do a little more on there. I think it'll be fine. Okay, so let's get this guy popped up on there. I love this side of the DSP with the turtle shell pattern on there. Get a couple dimensionals going, or a lot of dimensionals going. We'll get a few on here. Go. And there is that. And then the other part of this suite, if I can, there we go, are these shades of green hexagons. Come here, come here, come here. Oh, everything is a little chilly this morning. You are not on your... I know, dithering over these is like the worst part of my videos, right? I don't even know. Oh my goodness, I am just so lost. So lost right now. What do we think? Did I get him in the right place in the end? I'm going for it. There, I think that's my card. If I really wanted to, I do have a Velcro, but I don't think it needs it. It's gonna be fun standing up and flapping open a little bit. It's good. I like it. So, if you haven't tried a Joyfold card, I encourage you to. The easiest way to make these, I'm just going to pull in a piece of, this is crushed curry, but the easiest way to make them is, whether you're working in letter or A4, take your regular width of cardstock. So this is 21 centimeters. If it were letter cardstock, it would be the 8.5 by 11. It would be the 8.5 side. Cut your regular width card. So again, on A4, that would be 10.5 centimeters. On letter, that would be 4.25 inches. So you can see that's what this is, right? Your card base, and then score it. So for me, it's what, 14.9 centimeters. If your letter, score it at 5.5 and then fold it over. That gives you that flap. And then you're going to take another strip of your cardstock and make it whatever width you want for the Joyfold. And then score it in half. So for me, it's so this would be 21 by 10.5 is where you score it. And if you're at doing letter, you've got your 8.5 and then whatever width you want, and score it in half at 4.25. And that makes the smaller one. So they're really easy to make. So hopefully that explanation makes sense, and I'll write that up and put that on the blog too, because they are super easy to make and just very fun, which is why they're a joy to make and they're fun. Joy Fun Fold. There you go. Okay, so thanks for joining me today. Again, if you want to find me, nancysniftynotes.com. Email me, nancy@nancysniftynotes.com. Today, if you are watching live or on Wednesday the 11th, first of all, happy anniversary to my husband, Glenn. It is 37 years today. And it is also the deadline for registering for my monthly medley that's coming up this Saturday. I'll give you a quick sneak peek of those cards. We're making 5 of them. There's 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I'm excited for these. We're using 5 different sets, and I'm excited for this class. I've got a good group of people coming. So main class is this Saturday afternoon. I do have a session also going next Wednesday afternoon. That's the 18th, if anybody is Actually, it starts late morning if anyone's interested in coming to that one. The PDF directions are going to be available on my website if you want to purchase those. And I can even, I can't believe it, I'm going to jinx myself, but I actually have an example to show you of these directions. You get a nice picture of the card. You get a list of all of the different papers and cardstocks with the measurement, how many you need, and the measurements both in centimeters and inches, everything else that's used to make the card, and then you get directions step by step, including pictures where they're particularly useful for each card. So, and then I also usually make a video showing the assembly as well. So anywhere in the world, if you would like to get the bundle of the PDF tutorial and the video tutorial, you can do that through my website. If you are anywhere in Australia and you would like to get a kit to make these cards, you have to provide your own stamps and dies. Well, yeah, I can send you the die cuts, but you have to provide your own stamps. But I can send you a kit with all of the pieces and embellishments, as well as the tutorial. And you can also purchase whatever you don't own that you need to complete them from me in Australia only. So those are the three, and then of course you can come to class in person. So those are the three options. And other than that, I will be back same time, same place next week with another project. Thanks for joining me today. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.